I am currently sitting in my sister's car in a Walmart parking lot in the wonderful and beautiful state of Arkansas. It has been a very long journey to get to where I am today, and almost all of it has happened in the last month since my vlog. So I've been super excited and had a super busy month of May/June. Oh yeah. Anywho, yeah, the first and biggest thing is that after the longest end of a term I've ever had in my entire life, I finally passed my classes and graduated college, and I got to walk in early June. Here's another one. Ooh. Demonetize that, YouTube. Okay. I finally walked across the stage in early June and got my diploma. That was a lot of fun. It's a kind of a funny story because I initially wasn't going to walk because I hate graduation ceremonies, and my parents know this. So I was like, you guys, like, I'm going to be at camp. I'm not going to walk. Sucks to suck. I'm sorry. And then when things came up and I couldn't go to camp this summer, I was like, you know what, I'll walk. And my mom had already made plans. And because she knew that I didn't really care that much, and because she already really had these big plans, she was like, I'm not going to make it to your graduation. And I was like, you know that I don't care, and that is okay. And I almost got out of graduation for a second time. And then my dad was like, no, I want you to go. I want you to walk. So I walked, and it was nice. I'm never upset at the fun of getting my degree and celebrating that. I'm always really just annoyed because they take way too long, and the speakers all think they're the funniest people in the world. Yeah, and then after that, I started on my job search and figuring out what I wanted to do for my future. And for a while, I was really uncertain, but I had a few conversations with some people that I know and trust about where my head was at and what I was leaning towards, and if that was a crazy decision or not. And then one night, I was up late, just kind of laying in my bed, and it just kind of hit me, and I was like, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. Will I be able to make it work? Will it be the path that God intended for me? Who knows? Like, we'll find out. But I know that this is what I want to put my effort towards, and this is what I want to try and succeed at. And so I committed to going to Davenport University this fall, where I will pursue a master's in urban education. And more importantly, to me at least, is that I will be playing Ultimate Frisbee for their team, which just got 5th at Nationals last year. And so I am beyond excited at the prospect of joining not only a team that is so accomplished, but just a team where everyone on the team has the same goals and ideals as I do for being competitive and trying to be the best that we can be at Frisbee. And so I'm really excited for that. I am down here in Arkansas. There was a good month and a half where I thought that I wasn't going to be a worker at camp because I hadn't decided what my future was going to be. I didn't know how long I would be taking to do my job search. And because depending on what job I got, I didn't know how late into the summer I could work. I went to camp and was like, listen, I don't want to make things more difficult for you than they should be. You should just assume that I'm not going to work this summer just to make it easier for you. And to be honest, I thought that that's what was going to happen for a while. But part of the reason why that helped me and made me want to commit to Davenport was that it really enabled me to come and work for the rest of this summer here down in Arkansas. And so that's really good for me, not only just to get back to camp is amazing, but that type of structure in my life is always really good for me. And it's just a passion I have, even if I'm not going into the teaching field. Being a mentor and a role model for young students is something that I enjoy so much. It's everything to me. And so to be able to do that for this summer, even though I'm not going to be able to do that this fall because I'll be in school, is a real blessing. So yeah, I'm down here. It's the day before session 2, which is when I'm going to start. Excited as a returner. Trying to think of anything else that happened in June. Not really. It was a weird period. between graduation and coming here, where I had absolutely nothing to do, and I needed a job, but I couldn't really get one anywhere in town because I wouldn't be sticking, like, no one's gonna hire somebody for 2 months, and even if they did, it wouldn't be that good of a job. And I was trying to think of, like, how can I get a job to set myself up to start making money so that I can actually afford grad school, and just kind of sitting at my computer, and I would just kind of be playing video games, and I could never, or just watching YouTube videos, and I could never do that for more than an hour before I was just like, man, I want to, like, do something productive with my life. But there wasn't, at that time when I hadn't yet decided what I wanted to do with my future, there wasn't anything to do. The only thing to do was to continue to applying to jobs and just wait. And so that was really frustrating, but obviously we came out the other side of it, and I'm very happy for the result of that. So yeah, I am to be determined on the rest of the vlogs for this summer. I'm really bad at posting vlogs, as you already know, but also I have limited access to phones and electronics at camp, which is nice to help me disconnect from social media and all of that. But also, like, even if I'll get my phone at some point, but I don't know what I'll really say other than we just did 4 weeks at camp. It was the same thing 4 weeks in a row. It was awesome. These vlogs might be postponed until I get back to the old burg or start moving up to Michigan. But that's what's going to be really interesting and tough to navigate now, is getting my financial aid letter from Davenport, seeing the final numbers, seeing how it all shakes out, figuring out housing up there, and trying to play Frisbee. I'm super hyped, obviously, for the Davenport team. As I said, they're going to be they are really good, and we're going to get even better as a team. One of the players was on the under-20 Canadian national team, and another player is, like, leading the professional league in assists right now, and they're going to be on my team next year, as long as a whole swath of other really great, phenomenal players. And like I said, part of the reason why I kind of committed to Davenport is because this is really my only opportunity to, and I really want to prove that I can not just compete at that level and be, you know, the back end of the seventh person on their D-line who helps round things out, but to get on a team like that and to stand out for the strengths that I have a Frisbee player and prove that, like, no, like, I'm not just kind of good at this, like, I'm going to be good at this. I'm going to put the work in and be a staple and a standard and a pillar of that team. And that's really my goal as I get down there. And so trying to find some time to play this summer is really my next big focus. Obviously, working at camp, there's not a lot of, like, legitimate and actual Frisbee I can play. But I brought my Frisbees down, and I'll be getting work in as much as possible. There is a Frisbee class that I got to teach a lot last year that hopefully I'll be able to teach again this year, because that was fun, not only to kind of throw the disc around while I'm at camp with campers, but also get to share my passion and my love for Frisbee with them and help them discover that sport. That's also really awesome. But I also last summer played in a league down here on my off days, and I'm gonna send out some emails and see if that's something that I can possibly do, because I just want to go all in on getting to the best I can be, and when we get there, then I can make my next decisions about, you know, how good did I get? Is that up to my standard? Is it up to the standard for someone who wants to continue down this path of playing Frisbee in college? Or is that the fun that I had and now it's time for me to turn and go into something new? So that's been my past month and kind of what my future is looking like. So we'll see what the vlogs look like coming up these next few months, and stay tuned.